good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever in the world you might happen to be. My name is Ghost Dog. Welcome back to my show. Wait for a couple more people to get in here. Update you guys on what's going on with the car. It is not good news. Fixable, but not good news. Alright. Make sure you all hit that thumbs up if you could, please. I greatly appreciate it. I'm kind of sitting weird a little bit because my back is killing me, but that's okay. Alright. Where am I at? Well, I'm sitting my ass in this chair doing a live stream. And I'm hoping to get some opinions as to what I should do next. Because quite honestly, I don't know. I am not a mechanic. I'm a YouTube mechanic. But I do pretty good because I do follow directions and instructions and take notes and stuff like that. What is going on? Alright, well, and it was just a bunch of people were just coming in at one time. But anyways, first thing you're going to see, I do not have a price amount up because I don't know. I'm not going to put up a fictitious amount because I don't know. Now, by the end of the show, we will know what I need to try to raise. Going to show you guys pictures and stuff like that so you get an idea of what I'm talking about. Now, the very first, let me pull up. What our very first issue was. As soon as I could find it. Well, it's here somewhere. It is going to be this thing. What is this? This is a hydraulic clutch master cylinder. And they're not cheap. When I went to pull mine out, I didn't see any leakage here, and I didn't see any leakage here. But I did see leakage here, and it was all up and down this part right here, which actually attaches to the clutch pedal. Okay? So, thanks to people, and one gentleman in particular, we got the part. And we got the part in. So it's attached here, it's attached here, and it's attached here. Now, this top tube, this is a reservoir. This is a brake master reservoir for the brakes fluids. This little piece right here is where it connects to the master clutch cylinder. Okay? There's a hose that goes from here to here. Now, there is a line. Once it goes in, the fluid comes into here, fills this up, and there's a line that goes down to the clutch. In between, there is called the bleeder screw. This is coming from the clutch pedal. It goes into here. And then this goes into the actual bell housing. Now, this is how you bleed air once you get everything connected. You undo that and it will bleed air out so you don't have no air in your lines. And where does this go? This side, this goes into the clutch and it connects to, if I can find it, I should have had this all set up, but screw it. I didn't. It connects to this end. And this here, this green piece, is called the slave cylinder. Now, as you can see on the clutch, the fly clutch, or the clutch housing, there are little fingers. Okay, now this presses against it. It decompresses when it's pushed against it. It's usually decompressed. Now the fingers actually stop this, the actual clutch itself, the clutch plate, and it decompresses. What makes us decompress and press is the fluid going into this tube, going through here, and maneuvering this back and forth against the fingers which operate the clutch. Are you following me? Are you guys with me so far? Yesterday, Colleen and I went out to pressurize the lines and bleed them so there's no bubbles in it. To back up, a day before that, it got dark out, but we noticed a puddle under the engine, but we couldn't tell where it was coming from. We thought maybe it was spillage, because it's not easy to fill that reservoir. It will spill out because you can't see it filling up. So we pretty much thought, okay, it's just, hey, Potato and Sarah. We pretty much thought it was just spillage. And we check it the next day when it's light out. So we went and checked it the next day. She's pumping on the clutch pedal, trying to get the pressure built up. And then I remember that spillage, that leak, so I looked under and it was streaming. It was pouring out of the transmission. Absolutely pouring. The more she pressed, the more it poured. Now, there's no leaks. There's no leaks from There's no leaks from this. This is the main reservoir. This is the tube that goes to something. That goes to this. Okay? There's no leaks there. This is where it comes from the reservoir. Goes out to the line. There is no leaks at the bleeder screw. Everything's good there. It's tight here and it's tight here. Which means only one thing. The slave cylinder. Somewhere to where it connects from the outside of the transmission, you have this. This is where the fluid goes, and it goes up to here, and it goes into here, and this is how you actuate the clutch. I have a leak somewhere in this, which means I have to tear apart the engine and the transmission to get to this because it's inside the bell housing. Inside the bell housing should be completely dry. Unfortunately, like I said, it's not just leaking out, it's not dripping out, it's pouring out. So every time we press fluid into the lines, it's coming out somewhere on this slave drive. Here is my question, and I would love to get suggestions. Do I just get this piece, or do I get the whole thing plus the flywheel? Now here's the reason why I'm not questioning this. Because if you get any liquid, any type of liquid on this plate or on the flywheel, it renders the clutch useless. It's like putting oil on your brakes, your brake pads. The reason I question this, because before we got the master clutch cylinder in, we were running the car. Okay? So I don't know if fluid flew inside the bell and got onto the clutch plate because they're all connected together. They're stacked right up. This is connected to this. This is connected to this. They all touch each other. Okay? So if this is leaking, and if I got any fluid on this, I most likely got fluid on this. And then, like I said, the flywheel. It's probably got it. So I'm not sure if I just get this and pray and hope that there's nothing on these and on the flywheel, or do I get this whole assembly again plus a flywheel and change everything out? I don't know. Because it makes a big difference what I'm short of, what I need to raise. I don't know. Now, what I'm doing is we're going to now what you're looking at are the prices of the clutch for the thing. Now this is minus a flywheel. So like there's a flywheel here. That's the flywheel. That's the clutch plate. And that's the actual clutch. And then you got your cylinder and whatnot. And it does fit the HHR 2010 and stuff like that. Now I can get different prices all over, like you can actually see. But this one in particular, if I were to get this one, it's going to cost me $200 what, $210 with delivery fees and stuff like that. That's the slave cylinder. That's what's leaking. Is it leaking onto that? Is it leaking onto this? I don't know. Now this is Amazon. So we got to figure out, one, where should I order it from? Okay, that's one. I mean, if I don't go, this is eBay. You really don't want to trust eBay too much, but this is one cost just for that without the flywheel. And that's where my trouble comes into. If I could find a mechanic or talk to a mechanic, I'd get a clearer picture as to what to try to raise money for. I don't know. If I go to the most expensive end, it's going to cost me at least $220 for the flywheel, like this here, this one here. And that's coming from Luke. But I was told Luke is not a good company to go to. So it's multiple questions like here. This is everything. The clutch plate, or the flywheel, the clutch plate, the clutch itself, and everything here. So my question to you guys is, do I just say screw it and just order all brand new stuff? Because there might be a possible chance fluid had flown up into the pressure plate, the flywheel, and the clutch. Well, if the clutch got any fluid, it's done. It's just boom, it's done. Because a clutch, a majority of it's made out of cloth and other stuff. And you guys know what happens when you get cloth wet. So, I don't know. And the second thing is, it's not critical, it just means a whole lot more work for me if I'm strong enough. I'm going to have to get an impact drill, one that goes over 200 pounds, foot-pounds. Because those bolts, they're on there. Now, when I changed the clutch out last time, I had a neighbor's big 800 foot-pound impact wrench. But he's moved since then. So I have nothing to get these big bolts off. Now, yes, I could do it by my hand, but you got to remember, I'm in the driveway. I have to manually do it with the wrench, and the car is not on a lift. It's literally standing on two jack stands. So I'm going to be yanking on that car continuously. Because there's 10 bolts that goes all the way around, not including the 10 bolts that are inside the clutch. And what? You're just looking at 2, 4, 6 bolts on the inside. Because I've never took the flywheel off. I left the original flywheel in there. Which I found out it's not a good idea to do that. If you're going to change this stuff out, you might as well change the flywheel because they get heated up, they could warp, they could score, all kinds of stuff go wrong to a flywheel. You could be busting teeth, which I'm pretty sure I didn't bust. What they normally suggest is taking the flywheel off, and if you can afford it and find one, you take it to a machine shop where they remachine it. Hello, Miss Jen. Hugs back at you, girl. So this is what I'm like, and my question, I don't know. I don't know what the chances are of fluid flying up into this stuff or not. So I don't know. I do know I got to replace the slave cylinder because that is what's leaking. That's the only thing left of everything going to the slave cylinder from the reservoir down to this clutch master cylinder, tubing down to the bleeder, and then into the back of this. So, and that's where the juice goes into and then goes into the slave cylinder. Somewhere in that slave cylinder is a leak, a major leak. And I'm not talking about a small one. I'm talking when Colleen was in there maneuvering the clutch back and forth to build pressure up and bleed it out. It was pouring out from under the transmission. And I mean pouring out. Hey, Regina. So it's most definitely got to replace that. But again, the reason I'm doing the show, I don't have any amounts up or anything like that, is simply because I don't know what I should do. Do I just get the clutch cylinder? I mean the slave cylinder? And pray to God there's nothing else on this, or this? Because I could go just this. But if there's fluid, any fluid whatsoever on any of these three, it got to be replaced. It's just one of those, and like I said, the best example is ask anybody or ask any mechanic what happens if you put oil on your brake pads. It renders them useless. It absolutely renders them useless. So I don't know what to ask for. Now, don't go with the price on there. We've already looked at one that costs 200 and some odd dollars. This one's 195 from eBay. I don't know. I do know I'm going to have to get at least 4 more quarts of transmission fluid because when you take it apart, transmission fluid leaks out. I might have to pick up 1 more bottle of DOT because out of 3 bottles, we're down to 1. So your guys' vote. What do I do? Because I don't know what to do. And I won't know until I tear it apart. Now, the reason I'm not outside for tearing it apart because even though it's kind of warm out there, we got really extreme high winds. And so it's dropping the temperatures down below 20 degrees. Tomorrow's supposed to get up close to 50. That's why I'm going to tear it apart. I don't want to wait to tear it apart and then figure out because it's going to take anywhere from 2 to 5 days to get to there. So the sooner I get it done, get the parts ordered, the sooner we can get it in. So my question to you folks, again, anybody's a mechanic, do I take the risk and just try to get the slave cylinder? Or do I order the whole batch, the whole thing, and just get it done and over with? That's my question. So I know what to put up there, know what my goal is. Because right now, I honestly don't know what my goal is. And that's why you don't see anything up there for a goal. And then, like I said, impact drill. I don't have an impact drill. The one I do have, and I should say that I'm lying when I say I don't have one. I have one, but it's for small bolts. It ain't gonna take off these big ass bolts that holds the transmission together and the cradle and whatnot. I need something with some power behind it. Let's look up, let's say 800 foot pounds in pack drill. You, Regina, think it would be. See, now these are what? Milwaukee's? Fuck that. I know the one at the Harbor Freight I was looking at, uh, it's $200. I mean, you could go, Christ, what are they asking? I saw one here for what, $800, $900? But look at this thing. This is for taking lug nuts off of a semi truck. So we definitely don't need something that fucking big. Besides, I'd never get on it. Look at this one, man. This one costs you almost $1,400. I just need a handheld one, but it's got to be enough. See, I want to work here. All right, now we're talking. And that's what I was telling you about. Around 200, about 200 bucks, and that's the one I saw down at the shop. So between this 200 here and this another 200, if I were to replace the whole thing, Jesus Christ. And then I got to get transmission fluid because it's going to drain out and you can't just reuse it, save it and reuse it. Because one, it's already used. And that's what, 10 bucks a bottle. Here's another $40. Almost 500 fucking dollars if I go with the whole package. I simply don't know if I could raise that money. But I am letting you guys know this is where we're at. I don't know. That's a good question. I'll ask them. But if it's corded, it ain't going to do me any good because if it's corded, I have no electricity out there. And our the way our electricity wiring's in this house, every time we run a cord, at least this is according to Colleen, when you want to run an extension cord from inside the house to outside, you have to go downstairs and turn off circuit breakers and unplug everything inside the kitchen where you plug it in. Otherwise, it blows the fuses. So I got one vote on get the whole thing. Anybody else? I got 6 people in here. Do I just go with the same cylinder and pray to God there's nothing on the flywheel, the pressure plate, on the clutch? Or do I just don't take a chance and just get everything and replace everything? That is the question right now. Because it does make a difference in price. It really does. Not much, but it does make a difference. I'm looking at close to $450 to $500 to get everything. If I would get the whole package. About 400 if I don't get the whole package. maybe 350 at the most. No, about 400 because, like I said, you got to add the transmission fluid. We replaced everything else, the caliper, the whole 9 yards. It did exactly as a gentleman had told me to do, and I did it. I gave him my word, and by God, I did it. I kept my word. And if you happen to be out there, Jerry, just to let you know, I did get a message from you about your email address, but when I went to the PayPal, it was gone. So I don't have your email. Now, I did send you a message with my other email. Uh, Either way, I hope you get it. If you need me to just put it up here, I'm like, at this point, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, Jen, and yeah, it's definitely leaking from, it's most definitely leaking from this right here. This is your slave cylinder, okay? This is this is the last stop where the fluid would go. There is no other areas it will go. It's literally from the reservoir to the clutch master cylinder, which is brand new. We got lines are good down to the bleeder screw. The bleeder screw is good. It's not leaking or anything. And then it goes straight to the back of this slave cylinder. And that's where the leak is at. It can't be a cracked housing. It can't be anything like that. It's literally the slave cylinder. But the reason I'm questioning everything is because, like I said, if that fluid had splashed at any time onto this part here, these have to be replaced. You know, that's all there is to it. Because to get the oil off here, you're literally going to have to machine it to get the oil because it's got pores and it will save it. People don't think metal has pores. Yeah, it does. Metal absolutely does have pores. No, 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 no. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Jen. I really do, and it makes a lot of sense. I'm not debating you on that, but here's the problem. Have you ever tore a transmission off an engine? It's not easy. It's not easy. It's a pain in the ass. We don't have the tools, the equipment to take it apart in about 2 hours and put it back together. No, it's going to take us a couple days to get this out because I'm working with one jack lift. I'm working with one jack lift, and that's it. I have no other jacks. It's going to be a trick because last time we had two jacks. Again, we had an impact drill to get these big bolts off. Our neighbor moved. I don't have that no more. I have one old ass jack lift. Do you know what I hold the engine up with last time, Jen? A bell bar. The weightlifting bar with the weight, the bar itself. That's what I'm using to hold the engine up. Oh, yeah. But you're not going to see it until you pull the transmission apart because it's all hidden on the inside. What's up, girl? Uh, you're not going to see it until you pull it apart. You're just not going to see it. letting people know what where we're at, what's going on with the car, and that major leak and stuff like that. And this is not even OEM that you're looking at. No, I'm talking to the people. Yeah, you will definitely see it once you pull the transmission apart. And if it's on there, the thing is, we're not wasting money. It's definitely not wasting money.
Can't.
No, we can't waste money.
Because we need it.
Yep,
If we waste money, then we can't get parts for the car.
yep. So,
Pancakes. I want the way you make them.
well, I'm not making it right now.
Later.
You got popcorn strip down there, go make some.
When?
Now. You can do it.
Is
Turn
it
the
gonna
oven turn
last
the oven
that
on.
long?
Listen to me. It's real easy. Inside the oven are pans. You're going to take one pan and you're going to put the shrimp on it, okay? You're going to preheat the oven to 425. You got that? When it goes beep, 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 stick your shrimp in. Make sure you got the other plate in there because you'll see two plates. There's a reason for that. And once it's preheated, you got the chicken in there, set your timer or watch your clock on your timer or whatever for 7 minutes. 7 minutes, pull the pan out that's got the shrimp, take the other pan, put it on top, and flip the whole thing.
I just put it in the microwave.
You want nasty shrimp? Go ahead, do that.
I didn't even know we had any.
Yes, I bought a bag yesterday.
Oh, no one told me.
Oh, that's your mom for you, because your mom knew.
Of course she did.
So there you go.
Fair.
I am not making no freaking pancakes.
Don't worry. I'm not gonna make you.
And second, we don't have that much pancake mix left.
Of course not.
See, we're waiting to the third when your mom gets her food money. And then we can get some food. And I don't want to ask these kind people for extra money for food.
Cause that'd be way too much.
Well, it isn't that. It's that I don't want to ask for what we don't need.
Yeah.
And as these people know, we're not a greedy family. We're not going to go out and say, "Oh, hey, we're looking for $600-700." We're not going to do that.
No.
We get what we need. That's why I didn't even put a price up here, an amount that I need to raise, because I'm having the chat help me decide what I should get, what parts I need. Because I don't know. Yeah, I know people are reading. You know,
You got a message.
I've been reading them.
Exactly. You got a message.
So when I take this transmission apart, it's going to be apart the last time. I'm not fucking with this car. I swore up and down when I changed the clutch last time I wasn't going to any more clutch repairs. We were just going to take it to a garage and get charged at what, $1,000 or something. Because garages, first of all, they go with the most expensive part they can find. They don't go for the cheap stuff. They don't go researching for cheaper parts. Or even if they did, they're not going to tell you. They'll just make up a price. They'll say, "Oh, the clutch plate and all that cost you $900." Well, and you guys are looking at it right yourself. It costs 200, 250 at the most. You know, that's what mechanics do. And I'm sorry to say that because my dad was a mechanic, my godfather was a mechanic. I know mechanics. I got friends that have brothers and sisters that are mechanics. But the majority will waste your money. They will take your money in a heartbeat because you don't know. You don't know. And that's the worst part. I even talked to my friend, and I told her, she asked me, what's going on now? And I told her, and she goes, oh no. Because if you guys want to know the hell I went through, check my live stream when my clutch broke the first time. It took us 2 weeks to get that car running. The only reason it's going to go faster is because we took it apart once. I just thank God Jerry bought the frickin' torque rod, torque wrench. So we got a torque wrench so we can tighten because everything that gets unbolted has to be torqued to a specific. Even the bolts inside on this pressure plate and on the flywheel has a torque spec you have to follow. Even the slave cylinder has a torque spec you have to follow. Because if you put it too loose, it will, because of the vibration of the engine, it will just unscrew them. And the last thing you know, because all these things are spinning on the inside, is a flying bolt. And then you got your starter, which is, you can screw up your starter. So you have to torque it. If you torque it too much, you can snap them. The pressure could just snap them. And again, you got parts flying around inside there. So thank you, Jerry, for helping me get the torque wrench. Now I just got to be able to read it because my eyes are so fucked up right now. I could barely read the numbers. By the end of the day, we'll have everything disconnected on top of the engine. The plugs unplugged, the cable, the clutch cable will be unplugged, the bleeder hose will be undone. Everything will be ready. And then tomorrow, when it gets nice and warm, I can take off the starter and we could disconnect the ball joint from the control arm. Got to take the axles off. Got to take off the splash shields. Got to take off the sway bar link. Got to tie up the engine, chain up the engine. And I got to leave it one link loose because you got to drop the engine down once you unbolt the engine mount from the transmission. And that means a jack under the engine, holding it up, take the mounts off, the mount bolts off, and then lowering the jack to lower the engine. So you can take all the bolts off the transmission and then disassemble that, get that clear, clean up what's ever inside the bell, and then replace the slave cylinder, and then look at the flywheel, the clutch plate. And the only way I can look at the clutch plate is I got to take the flywheel is I got to take the clutch plate off, taking the clutch out so I can inspect the frickin' flywheel. You got to take a cradle off that holds everything up. Make sure the engine doesn't fall off. Every car's got a cradle. You got to disassemble the bat rack and pinion. You got to disassemble the sway bar. There's a whole lot of stuff you got to do. You know, you watch it online, they could do it in 2 hours. But they got a car lift to lift the whole car up so they could work underneath it with comfort and everything else. I'm working with about 1.5 feet space. And that's it. On concrete, outside. I don't even have my phone near me to see if anybody even helped me. But yeah, Jen, I would love to do one piece at a time, and if it was more, then get more pieces and whatnot. But that means another freaking fundraiser show, and I really don't. I just want to get it all done at once. Is what I want to do. That's my vote. Just replace every fucking thing and not worry about it down the road. The part that's leaking is the slave cylinder. It is this part right here with the green. That is called the slave cylinder. From where the black comes in, that's where the fluid goes in, and it goes to the green part, and it flexes that accordion green. And that's what pushes against the fingers on the pressure plate to actuate the clutch. It stops the clutch, is basically what it does, so you can change gears and stuff like that. This is what the clutch sits on. It's called the flywheel. Okay? This is the clutch plate. And you see those fingers. Those is what pushes against this. This here is just to make sure you got everything even and squared up, because you got to put it inside here and stuff like that, and make sure it's perfectly aligned. Because if you don't have one of these and you're just holding the plate up, one, you're never going to shift a gear, and two, that thing's going to be flying off everywhere. So yeah, this is what's definitely leaking. But the thing is, if this is leaking and if anything splashed anywhere on these components, these have to be replaced. Unless you take them to a machine shop where they can professionally clean it, because all these have pores in them, and they will. And if you get anything, just a drop of oil on the clutch plate, you need a new clutch plate. Period. Clutch. No ifs, no ands, no buts about it. You can't just take a piece of cloth and just wipe it off. Because if you look closely, you'll see these little white marks all over. Those are cords. Cloth cords. And cloth expands when you get them wet. That's why it's always inside. And like I said, you know what? I'm gonna do what Jen asked. I want to go to AutoZone. See, this is way too weak. Yeah, it's brake fluid. It's DOT3. Yeah, he's going to tell you the same thing. And it's not giving me answers that I want. No, what I'm seeing here, nothing like that. So, that's out of the question. There it is. That's what's at Harbor Freight. And that's what I was telling you. And they do have it in stock. Oh, shit. So if I get everything, plus the fluids, plus an impact drill, I'm looking close to $450 to $500. I wonder how much a jack cost. Really? Are they really that expensive? Oh, come on. All right, this is more like it. Jesus Christ. Yep. Ah. Or if I were to buy these parts right here, it won't get here at the latest March 5th. And this is not even the parts that fits. So I said, like I said, about 200 bucks. Shit. Oh, God, please help me. Yeah, 215. And that's not even the complete one. This would be the complete one. And this is from Amazon. So no matter where you go, it's about 200 bucks. Oh my God. Yeah, we were out there. We were pumping her up, trying to get pressure on the clutch pedal, and we were going to go. But like I said, when I looked underneath the engine, it wasn't dripping out, it was pouring out. It was pouring out. Something came apart on that slave cylinder to make it pour out, not drip, but pour out. Shit. Yeah. It's coming apart regardless. It has to. Because I know one thing in particular that is gone, and that's this thing. That's gone. So, otherwise, how are you guys doing? How's your day going? How's your week going? How's your month going? How's your knee, Pam? Good, good. I'm happy for you. Jen, did you get your, what? I didn't even think that shit was still around. Jen, did you get your, water pump fixed? See, I'm literally running, taking that apart in my head. And it's making me tired just thinking about it. I won't solve your major problems. What do you want, Cat? I haven't seen you all day. Where you been hiding? Huh? Where you been hiding? What? What? Don't just yell. Answer me. What do you want? Got a cat down here yelling at me. Well, hello. Just jump up there, you know. Say hello to the world. Say hello to the world. Did you just wake up or something, buddy? Uh, Excuse me. Come up. Come up. Come up so everybody can see you. Yeah. Well, don't fall off the bed. Yeah, I see you. Everybody else is going to see you too. Yeah. Everybody, this is Theo. Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Got anything else to say? Huh? Talk to them. Go ahead, talk to them. He does not like to be held at all. But he sure does yell a lot. And he just scratched my leg. Damn it. I hate getting scratched by cats. It's like getting a paper cut. Meow. Meow. He's just meowing away. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord, what can we say? Yeah, that's what came apart. Somewhere, something came apart in that, and it's just pouring. Excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm either catching a cold or I got a cold. I don't know what the hell's going on. Give me a minute. I gotta go find my phone and tinkle real quick. I shall be right back. Alright. Took care of that little problem. See how much it'll cost that AutoZone near me. See? Here's another reason why uh, this is just at AutoZone, 175 bucks. Basically, about 75 bucks more. Oh, wait a minute. OEM. Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Does not fit my vehicle. Damn it. This is what I'm talking about. Now this is just for the slave cylinder. 175. This is for the flywheel, clutch plate, pressure plate, slave cylinder, plus bolts. 186. 200 if you add taxes and the shipping. So, it's another reason. It's actually cheaper to get all the stuff at one time than it is just to buy one individual part. So, I can't read Spanish. I can't read Spanish, folks. So yeah, and that's all that white stuff you're seeing, folks. That's what I was telling you. It's literally cord, rope material. And if that stuff gets wet, you're kind of screwed. Why is there rust? You guys see that? There's rust on that. Or is that just the cloth hanging over? Where's the calculator on this damn thing? Alright, let's do some adding. 200. About 200. Plus another 45 for the liquid. There it is. Right there. $445. $445 fucking dollars. Son of a bitch. Yeah, but how many days does that take to get here? Because I read 4 to 5 days. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I'll look around. I prefer OEM parts. I'll look around, but I'm only going to get it maybe like $50 cheaper. I know I already looked at a few other places, and like I said, it's all within 50 to 70, $75, that range. It ain't that big of a range. Or you got Parts Geek, you got Detroit Axle, you got GM Auto Parts, you got another place I can't think of, Rock something. Pam came up with it one time, and yeah, I'll be checking all those places. But like I said, the couple places I've already did check, like I said, it's all within $50 to $75 range. I'm only doing it. I'm only looking at Amazon because it's only going to take a couple days to get here. Whereas I know the other part stuff is going to take a week, five to five or more days. Look how long it took me to get that freaking uh, clutch master cylinder. It took us over a week to get that damn thing. Almost 2 weeks, to be honest, I think. I mean, yeah, it might have been a fluke, but still, it took a long fucking time. Because when I pull that transmission apart, I want to have the parts to put back together right then and there, so I could just put it right back together. I don't want to take it apart and then have to sit for a week waiting for parts to come in, and then have to do a fundraiser and all that stuff. I'm trying to get ahead of the game. I'm tired of being behind the game because all 4 weeks now I've just been behind. I think I fixed one part. I'm doing basically what Jen's trying to say and all this and that. I'll just find out what's broken and replace it. Well, I did that. I replaced it, got a new one, and then something else busts. Something else goes wrong. It just keeps going and going and going and going. If you get the whole equipment, flywheel, pressure plate, clutch, slate cylinder, that's everything for the transmission. Everything. There's nothing else really to change unless you have to go into, knock on wood, into the transmission itself. Then that means just buying a fucking new transmission, period. Because one, I don't have the tools to tear a transmission apart. I wouldn't know step one of tearing a transmission apart, pulling all those freaking gears and stuff like that. But that isn't what's causing the leaking because it's sealed off. It's completely sealed off. When the brake fluid goes in, it does not go into the transmission itself. That's the transmission fluid. The brake fluid, aka clutch fluid, only goes to certain areas, and that's it. It does not go anywhere else. It simply does not. You can look up every diagram you want. You will never find anything going into the transmission itself. So it's not the transmission. It's everything else but the transmission. It's almost like Murphy's Law is playing Professor Murphy Law. If one thing you go wrong, it's going to go wrong. And that's what's going on here. I tried the piecemeal part stuff, replace this, replace that, and then find something else. Where honestly, I should have just did the whole thing. But then again, I didn't know there was going to be a problem until yesterday when we looked under the car and saw it pouring out of the freaking transmission hole. It was literally pouring out of there. And the hole where the transmission and the engine comes together like this, the whole seal where all the bolts are, the whole underside was completely soaked. Completely soaked. So there's oil in there already up above before it started draining out. So when I pull that transmission apart from the engine, I'm going to have oil pouring out of that transmission bell. And if it's been like that a while ago when Colleen was driving it and running it, that flywheel was spinning, which means that oil was jumping around. The more and more I think about it, the more and more, yep, I just want to get everything at once. That way when I pull that fucker apart, I don't have to be playing with it. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not just going to fix one piece, put the thing back together, run it, and find out there's something else wrong. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to get shut down for another frickin' week. So yeah, 450, 445 is what I'm looking for to get everything done at once. Get it ordered. That way it gives me a couple days to get that transmission taken apart. Because the temperature's dropping back around here, folks. I don't know what Mother Nature is doing around here. Mother Nature doesn't like us. Hey, Natalie. Mother Nature is hating us right now. My neighbor, he's got this torpedo heater. He says, well, if you need your torpedo heater, you can borrow it. Like, what is a torpedo heater going to do out in the open when it's windy? Hey, you ain't going to feel shit. I'm trying to make myself seem like I'm light or trying to stay in a good mood is because I'm tired of being depressed. I'm tired of being anxious. I'm tired of being tired. I just I just want to get this fucking fixed once for all and get my ass back working. Because our DoorDash has gone up. Our DoorDash is gotten really busy, and I finally figured out why. It's because I found out yesterday our town was a sanctuary city, and ICE made a run, visited our town. That's why our DoorDash, they're begging for drivers around here. I mean, there is a thing going on right now. If I could get somebody brand new on DoorDash, I'll get $900. The person that hires on will get $600. They're running that promo. They literally just ran that promo a couple months ago. Usually they don't run that promo like once a year, but because of ICE and all that, uh, There's nobody here. I kind of laugh, and I really shouldn't be laughing. But I do think it's kind of funny that that's all it took to get busy with DoorDash around here. I told you guys, they're running promos every single night, which they normally do not do. They're running promos every single frickin' night. Anywhere from $1 to $3. I've seen as high as $5 already. They need drivers here badly. But yeah, I learned all this information yesterday. See, our town even built two new hotels or two new apartment complexes, low income apartment complexes, brand new. And I found out at least one of them was for you know who. Mama,
I got something for you.
I hope. Yay! Spoon.
That's right.
How was work?
Okay.
My daughter came in from work. I don't need that. But I do need that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, I just added everything up that we need. And I mean, this is everything. This isn't just one part because check this out. And everybody's saying, where is it? Okay, this is the AutoZone.
Okay.
This is just the master slave cylinder, the slave cylinder.
Okay.
This is what's leaking in the car.
Okay.
See the price?
Yes.
Now, this is everything.
Okay.
Flywheel, clutch, pressure plate, slave cylinder. Look at the price.
Okay. What about it?
I'm just letting you know.
Okay.
It costs almost as much for everything than it's just one piecemeal.
Right.
And I got some people saying, well, why don't you just take it apart, fix, and replace one piece,
Right.
which we could do.
Right.
But you take a chance that everything else is screwed up as well because there's oil, so much oil in there, fluid in there, that if it gets on any of those parts, you got to replace those damn parts.
Right.
So this is the way I'm going.
Okay.
I'm just going to replace everything and get it over with so everything's dry and ready to go. Because we're going to have a part, it's going to be opened up so I can replace all that stuff. It isn't like I have to do extra to get these.
Right.
So that's what we're going to do. And then I got to get, where is it? I have to get an impact drill because I checked. Hold on a second. I checked AutoZone. They do tool rentals, but they don't do power tools. At least not this.
Okay.
Which was actually a really good idea. I think that came from Jen.
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot something.
Thank you, sweetheart.
You're so welcome.
So that's where I'm at. And then, it's going to cost at least 40, 45 bucks because I got to replace the transmission fluid in there and then pick up another bottle of DOT.
Okay.
So what does it come up to?
$445.
Yep.
I mean, for everything. That's
For
actually
for everything, one time.
Not a good. It's a good deal compared to doing $800.
Well, I just don't want to be buying one piece for almost $200
Right.
and then find out there's others,
Other
and now you got to spend
Right.
another $200. I don't want to do that. I just want to get everything done one time, pull it apart, replace every freaking thing,
Right.
So there's no excuses whatsoever for the clutch. We got a brand new, thanks to Jerry and them. We got new parts in there already. Got new fluids already. It's just I'm done with this thing. So
Mhm.
when I tear this thing apart, I want it all done. I don't want no excuses. I don't want to like, oh well, you know. So it's like replace the piece, put it back together, see if it works. No, 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 no. No, I'm not tearing that transmission apart two times in less than a week.
Right.
I was looking at the floor jacks because I'm still. We had two floor jacks to get the clutch out of there the first time
Okay.
because we don't have other lift tools and stuff like that.
Right. Well, let me get this to Paige.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. I know you said you wanted your
So
process.
you see where I'm at. You see what we need
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And I just hope to God there's some angels out there. Uh, I highly doubt it. Jerry will save us one more time. I really, really doubt it. He's saved us so many times already.
Right. Well.
If I see something pop up on here, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna yell out him and give him my other email address because he couldn't. He said he couldn't get into. It was blocked. My email, Haunted Trucking email, is not blocked.
Mm.
So I wonder what the hell is going on with that.
Okay, Dad. I love you.
All right, love you too, baby girl.
Let me grab Paige's phone. Hi, Roxy. Hello, boy. Hello, boy.
So either way, if I get help one time, boom. If I don't, I'm gonna be up here, gonna try to raise that fund again. But at least this time we know what the fuck's going on. We know what's gonna get that car running. No more guessing, no more surprises, because there simply can't be any more surprises. There's nothing else to it. I mean, literally, there's nothing else to it. And I checked the lines, and I was like, okay, maybe I better check the lines, replace the line. No, the lines are fine. They're dry as a bone. So there is nothing wrong with those lines. And we're talking two lines. There's nothing wrong with the master cylinder, the master reservoir. No leaks from that. We replaced the brand new clutch cylinder, so we know there's nothing wrong with that. So we know we're good there. Got all the fluids, got all the parts. Paid off some bills, which one we actually had shut off on us, and it was supposed to be for the caliper. Jerry comes back on, helps us out, and he puts in there, please get the caliper. I'm like, yes, sir. Able to get some tools that we absolutely needed. Good thing is we don't have to waste time uh, tearing the fuse box out because that's already out. It's all exposed. Like I said, I just got to reach down. I got to disconnect one, two, three, four, five, 5 or 6 things on top of the engine from the top. And then when you get underneath, you got to disconnect the racket pinion. You got to disconnect the sway bar and the sway bar links. You got to disconnect the control arms. You got to disconnect the drive axles on both sides, not just one side, both sides. You got to take out the starter, and then you got to drop the cradle, which weighs almost 75 pounds itself. And then it's just a matter of getting the engine and the transmission supported individually. So you can take all the bolts out for the transmission and then separate it and drop it down so you can get to the inside. Sounds easy, huh? Daughter just came back from home. She brought me home a Frosty. A chocolate Frosty. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I haven't had a chocolate Frosty in a month or two. So yeah, that's what's got to be done. And if I could raise enough money, raise this amount of money, I'm replacing everything. That way there's no excuse, there's nothing to do with the clutch that hasn't been changed. Everything will be completely changed from the flywheel all the way up to the clutch master cylinder will be then replaced. So that's where we're at. And the only reason I'm putting that impact wrench on there to get a new impact wrench is because, like I said, you guys have no idea. Ask your brother, Pam. Ask your brother, Jen, if they would take those transmission bolts and the cradle bolts off was just a socket and a wrench. I guarantee you both of them will say, hell no. I guarantee you they'll say that. Those things are not easy. And they're big. And they're tight. And my little impact wrench won't even bust the lug nuts on a tire. I have to literally manually break them loose. And then I can use the impact drill. I'm just really, really happy I was able to get a brand new torque wrench, a good one. Because everything that I'm taking apart needs to be torqued back. Everything. You can't just go underneath there and just tighten it up and say, okay, it's good and tight. No, 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 no. There's a reason these things are torqued. Because vibration, that whole front end vibrates like no one's business. And if you don't torque them to the specifications, they will come undone. They will loosen up and fall right off. Or if you tighten them too much, you're going to take a chance of stripping out something, snapping off a bolt, which I did, because my torque wrench broke, and I didn't realize it, so I'm tightening and tightening and tightening, and it just snapped the bolt right off. So you could take that chance. Torque wrenches on a vehicle is critical. You really shouldn't. Even the lug nuts should be torched. Yeah, he doesn't play around either. Yeah, I know about. You said he was mechanic, so he's working semi trucks, dump trucks, and stuff like that. Big equipment. Yeah, it does make sense. The key to working on any vehicle is making sure you have the right tools to do it. Otherwise, don't play with the vehicle if you don't have at least a torque wrench. And if you watch the video, there's a video out there. It's not our car that they're working on, but it's the same size engine, size transmission. And if you look it up and watch him, and when he starts tightening out, it isn't just one torque specification. There's like 7 or 8 different uh, bolts that have different specifications on. And they're weird numbers too. We're not talking like 70 foot-pounds, 80 foot-pounds, 100 foot-pounds. No, it's like 69 foot-pounds, 81 foot-pounds. It's ridiculous. Yeah, that doesn't have the clutch plate though. I already looked at one, Jen. Yeah, I saw that one already. Matter of fact, I think I showed it to you up here on the stream. I showed you guys that one. It doesn't have the flywheel. Because if I have to change the pressure plate and the clutch because of a splash, the flywheel is going to have splash on it. That's just no brainer. Ah. So somehow you guys see what we just added up. I showed you all the prices. And that's everything. And like I said, that's from the flywheel, clutch plate, slave cylinder, hoses, connectors, bleeders, another hose, master clutch cylinder, another hose, reservoir, DOT. That's everything that has to do with the clutch and clutching the car to get into gears. That's everything. Everything. If I can raise this money and get those parts, is everything on the car as far as the clutch. There's nothing else to do with the clutch. Nothing. I'm trying to think what I could use. Because like I said, I gotta get my. There's an engine hoist. It's not a cherry picker. It's an engine bar that actually goes across your hood, and it's got chains and it's got handles, so you can turn the handles to lift the engine or lower the engine. Don't have one of those. Hell, I don't even know how much one of those damn things cost. They got to cost some money. The engine bracket uh, and whatnot. So what I use, I just like I said, I use a weightlifting bar. I mean, if it can hold hundreds of pounds, it's the engine itself is not that heavy. It really is. It's like maybe what 500-600 pounds, something like that. Just the engine itself. So what I did last time is I got the bars, which was long enough to go across the hood bay. I chained it up that way. Used bolts. Sorry about that. And just held the engine up that way. And then, like I said, I used two jacks, not one, just two jacks. One for the transmission and one for the engine. But I only have one jack. And nobody here. I even asked my friend if he had a jack. He says he didn't have one. What was that? Oh, hi, Theo. Oh, this is crazy. You should have heard Colleen and I yesterday. I think the whole neighbor heard us. It was the F word for like 15 minutes straight. 15 minutes straight. We were just cussing up a storm when we saw that pouring out from under the transmission. We were so excited. All we had to do was get the pressure back up. And we were just going to put her together, throw the caliper on, and get going. Oh, we were so ready. And then when I checked underneath there and saw that pouring out, the cussing commenced. And it went on for 50 minutes. Matter of fact, almost all night. When we stopped and thought about what was going on, F words were just flying out of our faces. We are not happy people. I told Sage, when and if we get that quote unquote tax refund, that up to $5,000 thingy, if it goes through, I already passed the House. Now it's just got to go through the Senate. Uh, the first thing we're doing is buying a new car. We're buying a new car. I'm going to keep this one, but we're buying a new car. I'll stick this one in the garage and I'll make it my project, rebuild the whole damn thing. Because it's got a lot more work than just what we're doing right now. It needs a new alternator. It needs a new timing chain. It needs a new water pump. It needs a new rack and pinion, tie rod ends. Uh, if the ticking is what I think it is, it's going to need a new camshaft. It's going to need new lifters. Gaskets, seals. Some special tools because pulling pistons, piston rings, you need special equipment with that. Basically tear the block right down to the oil pan. Tearing it right down and rebuilding the engine. That would definitely stop everything, wouldn't it? So yeah, if you can help, I don't want to say it, but if you can help, please do. If you can't, get the word out. Maybe somebody out there. It's going on 4 weeks. I think it is 4 weeks now. And we haven't made a cent except for you guys donating and helping us out. And again, I can't thank you guys enough for what you've done for us so far. You've literally kept this family surviving. You paid our bills. You paid for food. You paid for parts. You paid for tools. How do you thank more than just saying thank you? I mean, if you were in near me, you guys would get the entire family would hug your ass. Hell, our cats and dogs would probably hug your ass. But I do know our family apologizes for having to do this month, these last 4 weeks. We really, really did not want to do this. But we simply had no other funds coming in. No other funds. We just don't have any other funds. You guys probably hear Sage coughing. She thinks she's gone probably. And that's another thing you guys bought us. You bought us some preventative medicines and juices. You bought us toilet paper. I don't know if you guys saw my, what was it, 1 hour show, 3 o'clock in the morning. I went down to go get some toilet because we were out upstairs, and we didn't have any freaking toilet paper. Maybe I'll put a video together showing you guys what you've actually, all your donations have helped us out. See, I can tell you this right now. One, this has never been a scam. Has no reason to be scamming because we enjoyed it, because we didn't ask for money for a long time, because we didn't need it. We were making our own money. We can make our own money, I should say. But I want to show you guys exactly what it is. Miss Sage, my daughter is online. Holy cow. But yeah, like I said, you've been buying, and I want to do. I just might, and show you everything you guys have done to help us out. What exactly are these donations going to? And well, smart. I should have just saved freaking receipts, but I didn't think about it. I probably could find them if I really look around. But honestly, thank you, and I know my entire family says thank you too. I know they do. If it wasn't for you guys helping us out, we'd be really, really screwed. Sage could only do much. I mean, I'm not going to say exactly how much, but it was a whole lot less, half her paycheck that she normally gets. And and I feel sad about that because of the simple fact that she works and she should be having her own stuff. I don't know when's the last time she's actually bought something for herself, because she's always, every 2 weeks she's doing something to pay off something in the house. I mean, you can't be more proud than I am of her, of what she's doing. And you guys gotta understand too. She works like 3-4 miles away. Not, I would say about 50-60% of the time she walks, not just from, but to work. Sometimes she gets a ride, gets lucky, gets a ride. But the majority of the time, like all last week, I've read one of her Facebook posts that she had been walking the whole week. I thought she was getting a ride, but no, she was walking in that minus temperature outside. There's my, and Sage just said it right there. This is my oldest. You probably just saw her a few minutes ago. She goes, yes, for sure. Love. Thank you so much, everyone. So we do appreciate you in this house. Trust me, we really appreciate you like no one's business. I'm just waiting to see if somebody will donate or not. And if it does, if we hit our mark, we can stop this. I'll get on the computer, do more thorough background, but I pretty much know what I'm going to do. Get the parts ordered, get everything we need, and then tomorrow when it's nice and warm, we'll tear that engine apart and the transmission apart. You know, it is what it is. You know, but like I said, this literally should be because there's nothing else. There's nothing else to buy. No other part to fucking buy. There's nothing to the transmission, to the clutch system to go bad. There's just nothing there. You guys can ask your brothers who are mechanics. They'll tell you. You start from the engine. You have your flywheel. You have your clutch. You have your clutch plate. Behind that, you got your slave cylinder. Behind that, you got your tubes, your bleeder screw between the tubes. You run that one tube all the way up to the clutch master cylinder. From the clutch master cylinder, it goes right back to the brake reservoir. A tube that goes to the brake reservoir. That's it. That's it. That's the whole clutch system. Well, besides the clutch pedal, but you know what I'm saying. That's the whole clutch system. And this is the only thing left to the entire clutch system that's left. There simply is nothing else. So for the next couple of days, I'm going to be, unless I can raise this tonight, I'm going to be just literally, hate to say it, but doing this last fundraiser. This is it. There's nothing else that can be done. It's that simple. Ask any mechanic how many, what is all involved with the clutch system. And they'll tell the exact same thing I just told you. A clutch system is actually very simple, but it's very delicate and complicated at the same time. If one thing goes wrong, it can screw up the whole line. Nothing else. I'm going through my brain. I can visually see everything, every component in my head because I've been looking at it for so damn long and I already fixed it once. So yeah, that's where we're at. 445 gives us about a $20-$30 playroom, just in case taxes, shipping costs, whatever. But that covers everything. It covers impact drill. It covers the clutch assembly. It covers the fluids. It covers everything. And like I said, I don't ask for more than I need. That's why I did this on live on TV or live on the stream so you guys can see for yourself that I'm not making this crap up. I mean, I could easily go out there and take pictures of the leak. Do you guys want to see that? To see that we ain't bullshitting, that it really is leaking? I've got no problem doing that. I'll put on my pants and go out there and have Colleen push the clutch pedal and show you what happens. If you guys want to see that for verification, I've got no issues doing that. No issues. You know, some people are like, "Oh, is he really doing this? Is all this and that?" Yeah, we're really doing this. There is no funny, there is no joke, there is no scam. Why would we do this in the first place? There's nothing. Yeah, we're behind on our rent. I know that for a fact. We're $800 behind our rent. That's just a given. But I never once asked for help for rent in these last 4 weeks. Not once. That's why I jokingly the last stream I said, yeah, if you want to cover everything, rent, bills, car, everything else, $1,500 would take care of everything. If you guys are wondering who Sage is, which I better do this real quick, or she's gonna chew my ass out, or she probably doesn't even know about it. Okay, Sage, say something again. And again, if you guys wonder who Sage is my oldest. She's uh, my daughter. There you go. See, Sage, you got a wrench now, and you're not just a standard moderator. You're a big shot. A big shot moderator, I should say. You could delete, you could add, you could do a whole lot of stuff. And I tell you what, I'm proud of both my girls, but I am really proud of Sage right now because what she's been doing, what she's is doing, what she's going through. I'm so proud of her, but I'm sad at the same time. 20-year-old, she should have her own place by now. I know one thing she said after this car gets done and everything else, she's going to be putting money aside and she's going to buy her own car. And she's like, "Mom, Dad, don't you drive our car? Don't be doing this and that." And I said, "First of all, why would we be driving your car? We have a car. We're probably going to have two cars." Especially if my SSDI kicks in, hell yeah, we're getting another car. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But she's been working every day, and like I said, you guys really should give her a hand, an applause, for what she's doing for a 20-year-old by herself. Walking, how many kids nowadays do you know that walks 3, 4 miles in the dead of winter, minus temperatures? And it isn't a flat walk. There's hills too. How many teenagers gives up 90% of their paycheck to help the household? 20-year-old. Yeah. So if our secret angels out there, this is it. This is the last one. This is everything. There's nothing else to buy. There really is no other parts to buy. And I don't want to say he's lurking because I used the wrong words. But if he just happens to be watching, if he's not busy, uh, yeah, we need one more time. One more time. One more freaking time. Otherwise, I'm going to sit here for days trying to raise the funds. And it isn't like I can just buy one part and then try to raise funds. It's all got to be bought at one time. Basically, the only thing that I could wait to buy is the fluids, and that's it. Because I need the impact to get the drill, get the bolts off, and when I get the bolts off, I got to have the parts to put them in. There's another reason I really want to get this done because my eyesights are going. I got major, what do you call it, glaucoma in this left eye. Everything is just a big blur. Right eye is still good, but I can see just a little bit of blurring. I need to get to the hospital. I really do. Hey, cute kitty kitty. Oh, shoot. Maybe my knee, my back, my blood work. I need everything. But I always say, and I always will say, family comes first. Family comes first. I'm old. I lived a life. Now I've got young ones that's just getting going in their life. I have a family. Sorry, I'm old school that way. I always told them, I said, if something ever happened to me, just roll me out back, dig a hole, and we're good to go. Then we're good to go. Oh, shoot. Yeah, but the price that I'm looking at that I gotta raise because honestly, I just literally, if you didn't see it earlier, go back and check it out. We went through everything. I wasn't hiding anything from you guys. I showed you what was needed. I showed you the prices, and we added it up, and this is what it came up to. So, and it isn't like I could just buy one part and then wait to get another part. No, I need one to get the other part, and that's all there is to it. I can't. I gotta have at least the fluids. I can wait until after I get everything put together. But that's the cheapest of it all. That's like 45 bucks because I gotta buy transmission fluid and another can of DOT because we went through 3 cans already until we found out what the hell was leaking. And it was, and again, it wasn't leaking. Well, it's leaking, but it wasn't dripping. It was pouring out of the transmission, pouring. To the point that even the seal that separates the engine from the transmission, all along that seal was completely soaked, which means there's a lot of fluid inside that transmission. When I pull it apart, I best better get ready for a bath in DOT oil. A lot of work, and I'm going to get soaked. I'm going to get soaked. I know it. I got enough extra. I should just buy some safety glasses just in case. And then another thing that was bought, I got some brake cleaner so I can at least spray that out and dry the bell out or get the bell uh, dried up as much as I can, cleaned out. Oh yeah, it's got to be on the flywheel because the flywheel goes right to the very bottom. It's that wide, and if the fluid was up in the seals, yeah, it was touching the flywheel. I could almost guarantee you that. Let's see if I can show you guys a picture of what I'm talking about. more or less this is what it is. And this is the clutch, the slave cylinder. It's a different type of, this actually belongs to, well no, they say it's ours. This is ours. Right here. So, this is a slave cylinder. This is basically our transmission right here. And this is the seals I was talking about. This edge right here. And I don't have the other side. Of the transmission. But the flywheel is about the same size as this. So the teeth and part of the flywheel, if this is full enough, because the drainage, there's a drainage port which is over on this side and it's up it. So this was all full, which was definitely on the flywheel. Oh fuck yeah. Yep. Yep. See, the port is not on the bottom. It's actually on the side over here. There's a port. And so the flywheel literally is within about a half inch of the edge. And this is about a good inch distance right here. That was full of fluid before it started draining out. Oh, we will. We just got to get the parts. We got to get this. So what I was saying is, right at the bottom of this whole thing has been soaking inside the fluid. So yeah. Now was it up high enough to get onto the actual clutch? I don't know. So yeah, the flywheel, clutch plate, and the slave cylinder all have to be replaced. And I'll show you the group. This is just a slave cylinder. You see that? So yeah, this is what I gotta take off. So yep, that's where it's at, folks. That is what we need. Why didn't I know that earlier? Why didn't I think of that earlier? Son of a gun. It's not a hope. We can get it. We just got to get the rest of the funds to get this last thing. And it's literally the last thing because there's nothing else behind it. We replaced everything else. Everything else has been replaced. It's just that now. And that's the last end of the clutch system. Period. It literally is the last thing to the clutch system. There is nothing else. There's no maybe this or maybe I'm missing this. No, no, no. That's it. That's the last of it. Because if there was something wrong with the actual transmission itself, the actual transmission, a crack or anything, I would know it. You would have transmission fluid leaking, and we don't have that. So, like I said, we know where we're at. We know what we need. Now it's just getting the funds for it. There's no second guessing. There's no work around it. It is what it is. And until I raise the funds, there's really not too much we could do right now. We're kind of standing still. I mean, I could tear apart, but here's another reason why I don't want to tear apart until I got in the part, because it's supposed to be raining here in the next couple of days. I'm outside in the driveway. I really don't want to get soaked, especially cold soak. And no, we don't have a fancy tarp to go over the car or a tent or anything like that. It'd be nice to have that, especially for the summer months, keep the car cooler. But you know, that's down the road. That's something we don't need right this very second. But we got everything else. Everything. I even held my promise to Jerry uh, because the first time he gave us funds for it, like I said, we had a utility issue we had to get taken care of. So I had to sacrifice the caliper. But Gary came back, and I loved his thing. He got us the caliper money again, and he said, "Please buy the caliper." Those are his words. And I told him right online, live online, I gave him my word. We got the caliper. Just wasn't expecting this. But believe me, gas Colleen 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, actually months ago, I've been talking about that slave cylinder. Matter of fact, if you check my DoorDash live streams, you'll see that I've been talking about it. But everything I researched, everything I looked at, said that you can wait on the slave cylinder. It will get noisier, yes, but it's not really going to do anything. It's just going to make a lot of noise. Well, I guess I learned a lesson, didn't I? I learned a lesson that don't believe everything you see and read. Because that cylinder, that slave cylinder whining just started about 2 months ago, 3 months ago. I know I had told Colleen about that. I said, if we can make it to summer, we're going to have to change that slave cylinder. I already told her that. That was in our plans. It's still in our, well, not now, but you know what I'm saying. And that's going to go right along with the getting the new rack and pinion, because we got a 3-inch play in that. So we need a new rack and pinion and tie rod ends, and we also need that lower steering drive shaft. Well, you know what? We may not need that, because all it does, it doesn't do anything. Yeah, all we're going to need is the rack and pinion and the tie rod ends, and that's it. And that will take that 3-inch play, but I know I can't do it. I don't know how to do it. Maybe your brothers might know it, Pam or Jen. Can you self align a front end? Can a common person self align a front end, or does it need to go to a shop? I don't know. I'll be right back. I'm sorry, folks. Something just happened. The whole house is crying. Cute kitty kitty, you don't have to hope no more. It's just been made it's a reality. A car will get fixed. We won't lose our place. You still there, Sage? I hope she is. I hope she's awake because we gotta order parts. Yeah, I see you, Colleen, but we're Sage. I showed Paige, and Paige has got tears in her eyes. All she could keep saying is, "No, he didn't. No, he did." She goes, "This ain't real." I said, "This is about as real as it gets." I'm sorry, folks. I'm just. Breathe, ghost dog, breathe. Our rent's taken care of. Our car is taken care of. I think one of our bills, one or two bills are taken care of. I just woke Colleen up, so she's still tired. Once it kicks in, you'll probably see a whole lot different messages. All right, I'm not going to delay anymore. I promised, I said, as soon as we got what we needed, we're going to get going on that. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. If you're still out there, this is my regular email. This one is not blocked. If you're seeing Rev Colossal, that is because I am an ordained pastor. I don't usually tell people that. So if you're wondering why does it say Rev, that's exactly what that means. This one is not blocked. I don't know why you had an issue with the other one because the other one's not blocked either. But I get emails on this email address every single day. I get like 200-300 emails a day. If you're still out there, sir, please reach out. Okay, folks, like I said, I got to start ordering. I got to start getting this stuff put together. And again, if anybody wants to see proof of what we're talking about, all you have to do is ask. We'll get you pictures. No problem. And because we say what we mean and we mean what we say. We're not a scam family. We're a very honest family because we got nothing to lie about. I learned a long time ago, and I should have learned it earlier. There's no need to lie. Period. There's no need to make up shit. There's no need to do other crap because it isn't worth the time. Because I'll tell you one thing about liars. You can always tell they're lying because they can't tell you the same lie twice. They can't do it. Sorry, I'm still trying to catch my breath and calm my nerves down. All right, let me get busy on this so we can get the car running in the next couple days and get back to normal life. I really hope, sir, you get this email address because I don't want to just disappear. I want to know how you are. I want to know, is there anything possible in the world that I could do for you or help you out with that if I have available, I'm just at your beck and call. With that said, I want you all to stay safe, stay blessed, and definitely keep between the lines and make everybody say thank you, JG. Just say thank you, JG. If I could get my followers, my friends, to say thank you, JG. He just saved his family. Over. Cute kitty kitty, Sage, Jen, Regina, Potato Sarah, Pam. Ask you please. Natalie. Thank you. Amen.